always concerned about safety issues in the community, as well as the welfare of each and every one of you individuals.
I'm Matt Clayman, running for re-election to the Assembly from West Anchorage. I'm running because West Anchorage needs a person with proven leadership, experience, and sound judgment to serve West Anchorage, to serve this community. As all of you know, I'm the first person to serve as acting mayor of this city, and that also means when I went back to the Assembly, I became the first person who had served as mayor and then went back to serve on the Assembly. So I bring this knowledge of city government that really is very, very unusual on the Assembly. And I really want to keep bringing that knowledge to serve the West Anchorage community. One of my highest priorities to our fiscal responsibility and public safety, and I'll just touch base on fiscal responsibility, is really to talk about budget cuts. But the first thing I did when I became mayor was to cut $70 million from the city budget to keep our budget balanced. So I'm really pleased to be here today. I'm glad you're having this forum. I'm looking forward to answering all the questions. And thank you very much.
I appreciate your vote for Bill Sidler on April 6th on the west side. I live on the east side, my wife again, and West California. I'm running on what I call the oatmeal platform. Two candidates to my right. Going to a restaurant, for example, Jack's Place, you can have the Western omelet or the Ranger sauce for $9.25, or you can have the veggie omelet for $9.25 or $9.75. You get the oatmeal for $3.75. It costs you 1/3 as much, good for your health, a little bit of salt, and it saves you 2/3. My notion is fiscal responsibility. I live a life of personal frugality. I'm wearing a shirt with a picture taken by a friend of mine. Another friend made a silk screen. The third friend donated the t-shirt. I've got two friends taking video today. Fiscal responsibility, getting your friends to work with you.
I'm Dick Trainey, running for CNF on the Assembly. I served for 10 years on the Assembly. Chairman for 6 foot longer than anybody's been chairman. I worked effectively on the issues I think affected us, and I'm willing to take a stand against some government oppression like the IM program. No reason for it. I told them if they didn't bring it back, they wouldn't see me. Obviously, they didn't learn from that. They did bring it back a year later. Hopefully, we're going to get rid of it this time permanently. The simple things like the wonderful soda tax. Why I'm drinking a Coke? It's because I hear Sheila wants to start taxing those. You wonder where government's intrusion in our life ends at. My job is to make sure it doesn't intrude in our life any further. Thanks.
Hi there, my name is Andy Clary. I'm running for the Midtown seat here in Anchorage Assembly. I'm a lifelong Anchorage resident. Grew up here, graduated high school, Anchorage Christian, went off and got a degree in information systems. That's my professional career, has been in the field of technology. And a year ago I served on a transition team and opened my eyes as to how government can be made more efficient through technology. My top 3 priorities as an assembly member will be number 1, fiscal responsibility, 2, effective use of technology, and 3, safe neighborhoods. We get to talk about all of those more today. Thank you.
My name is Kelly Moore, and I'm running for the South Anchorage seat on the Assembly. I've lived in South Anchorage for the past 17 years of my life, and it's a place that I really call home. And the reason I was moved just to run for this seat is because I think that we need an advocate on our side. We need a representative who's truly wanting to represent us and our interests. And like I said, lived there for 17 years. I went to the Anchorage School District in this area. The people that I'm seeking to represent are my family, my friends, and my neighbors. And so I really look forward to answering all your questions and to talking to you afterwards. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Johnston. I'm just finishing my first term in the Assembly. I ran 3 years ago because I had concerns about the budget. I've been on the budget committee for those 3 years. I'm currently chair of the budget committee. I'm a firm believer in fiscal responsibility, but not just on the day-to-day basis or the year-to-year basis. I'm a strong believer in the 6-year fiscal plan that we currently have on our table. I think we need to have the discipline to plan our financial future with a long-term plan. And that's what I'm committed to. That's what I did as chair of the budget this year. I worked with the mayor on his fiscal plan, and that's what I'm doing.
Hi, Paul Woodman. I'm running for Section 5 seat H, the east side. The reason I'm running is because the seat's coming open. There's people that are choosing not to run for this. It's the last year. I believe believe I'm the best candidate on the east side for your vote. 37-year resident, 33 on the east side, father, grandfather, vote too. And we're all graduates except for grandkids yet. I'm glad that I am both my grandkids. We think Anchorage is a beautiful city, and we've got a lot of amenities that we, some that I voted for, some that I didn't, but we have them and we've got to maintain. That's my first goal, is to maintain the infrastructure we have, provide a stable and consistent government so that business can thrive, and people will want to come to live here and enjoy the first-class city that we live in. I want to help this mayor make Anchorage one of the best winter cities in America. I know that he pledged that during his campaign. He also pledged that we would keep a good public safety departments and keep them striving and thriving and to try to be better. And somehow we've started to slip a little bit, and I'd like to make sure we're back on the right path. It's not my only priority, but it is my top priority. So look forward to answering more questions.
My name is Adam Trombley. I'm running for East Anchorage, Section 5. The reason I'm running is because I believe in the ideals of a limited government, mainly characterized by fiscal responsibility, personal responsibility, and me placing my faith in you to fulfill your own destinies. And how do we do that? There's three main things that I want to accomplish while I'm in the Assembly. Keep in mind the ideals of a limited government in mind. First and foremost, the tax cap is not a goal to attain. Just because you can tax to a certain point doesn't mean that you should. State and federal government has a limited goal, mainly protect life, property, and provide infrastructure. The remaining services, which brings my second point, I would like to see is opening those things up to competition. Opening up city services to competition. Competition does two things. It increases your service and it lowers your price. It works in the private sector, it can operate within government. The third thing I'd like to see is more transparency when it comes to public dollars, especially when it comes to long-term labor contracts. Those are the three things. Again, look forward to answering your questions. Thank you.
Thank you. And before we begin our speed round, I would like to recognize Mayor Sullivan. Mayor Sullivan was supposed to do our Pledge of Allegiance today. However, he had a meeting go late. We thank Speaker Phillips for filling in for him. But thank you for being here today, Mayor. Thank you. We will now begin the speed round. You have yes/no packets in front of you. Please raise your tie. First question. Are you married? Do you own a home? Do you own a pet? Are you an active member of a local church? Red ones if you're not, please. Do you own a personal firearm? Do you like to cook? Do you now or have you ever owned a small business? Did you get a swine flu vaccine? That's a good one. Is your household prepared for a major disaster? Should candidates for office be willing to disclose credit scores? Would you be willing to disclose your credit score today? Do you have a passport? Have you ever been arrested? Are you pro-choice? Did you sign the parental notification petition? The parental notification petition. Do you believe marriage is between one man and one woman? Do you agree with the goals of the animal rights movement? Should goals of the animal rights movement like yes. Do you listen to talk radio? Have you ever fished in Ship Creek? Have you ever climbed Flat Top? Have you ever gone swimming at Goose Lake? Have you attended any events at the PAC this year? Did you do any fur riding events this year? Did you do any Iditarod events this year? Have you attended a school board meeting this year? Have you ever been to Beams Cafe? Thank you. Our next section will be on theory. Should we be taxing to the cap? Would you support a sales tax if it was a dollar for dollar reduction to property taxes? Should we bond for salaries?